This episode of Southeast Iowa Today is brought to you by Griner Auto Body of Washington, Iowa, using state-of-the-art techniques and decades of experience to get your car back on the road after an accident. Car Doctor of Washington, Iowa. No matter who Frankensteined it, they can fix it, clean it, and customize it. McDonald Boneyard of Keota, Iowa, for all your farm equipment and auto recycling needs. For great food, it's your choice. Your Choice Family Restaurant of Wayland, Iowa. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Come to our cruise-ins this summer on the second Tuesday of the month, June through September. Girling Repair of Winfield, Iowa. If your mower is dead, call Fred, your Husqvarna, Aaron's, and Gravely dealer. Fred also fixes and sells snowblowers. B&B Propane and the family of Jet Stops. Dutch Market and Coffee Talk of Washington, Iowa. Dutch Market can handle all of your grocery needs. They even have a conference room you can use for free. Coffee Talk's drive-thru is open and ready to serve you coffee, energy drinks, sandwiches, baked goods, and ice cream. They all present you the award-winning Southeast Iowa Today. Here's the author of Christie's Journey, The Beat Goes On, and your host, John Bain.
Thank you, announcer Cody Roy of NewEnglandDukes.com for your golden pipes and wonderful introduction. You know, when this guy's on screen with me, Bob DeWitt,
Yes,
we are day tripping. Bob, tell the folks where we're at today.
we are in Riverside, Iowa, the future birthplace of Captain Kirk from the Star Trek Enterprise.
That's right, and behind us is the USS Riverside spaceship, and also behind us is the Voyage Home Museum, where we're going to go inside and get a tour from Alex and Phil.
Yes,
Alex, thanks so much for having Bob and I here for this personal tour that you and Phil are going to be giving us here at the Voyage Home Museum in Riverside, Iowa.
You are most welcome, and welcome to our humble little town in the middle of nowhere, Iowa. This is, at least in my opinion, one of the best museums in the area. We have an extensive collection of historic Star Trek artifacts, Star Trek-inspired items.
Well, it's definitely a gem in northern Washington County, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We get visitors from all over the country and all over the world.
Okay.
People sign in. We're still at the beginning, so we haven't had that many people even yet.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. We like to start typically with our NASA section of NASA on loan artifacts. We have a uniform from Kjell Lindgren. We have quite a few of autographed items.
And that's Kel there in the picture.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're going to get a little closer so folks can see him. And when was he up in space?
I believe it was... I'm not entirely certain. I should know these things. I think it's been at least 7 to 10 years ago.
Okay.
7 years.
Okay. Well, that's
probably
very...
going to have to get Katy Perry.
Well, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that did just happen, didn't it?
Yeah. That's
Sorry.
for sure. The singing astronaut.
We have a memorial collection. There was a gentleman named Noli Mendoza who was a cosplayer who made not just screen accurate, but spec accurate uniforms.
Oh, wow.
Down to the correct thread count, down to the correct material. Research. Very, very accurate. And
I say, how in the world does he find out that information?
You get networked. This is Iowa. Iowa is filled with networking. You find people.
There you go. That makes sense.
We have our novel and book and Star Trek adjacent collection. This is not all of it. Not remotely.
There is just so much Star Trek, isn't there?
So much.
And then when you added the Next Generation, and then you add Deep Space Nine and Voyager and Enterprise and the new movies, it's just
side stories.
And don't forget Picard series.
Yes,
yeah, that's a great series.
Oh yeah, it's great. As we continue on, we have our standees. We have one of our, what I think is the biggest deal artifact in the building is Data's desk.
Oh, wow.
Most of Star Trek: The Next Generation, little Deep Space Nine, a little bit of Voyager. It was purchased at a Christie's auction, and it made its way here.
Wow.
Yeah, people come from all over the world to see it. It's kind of its own little shrine.
It sure is, and justifiably so. So
Yeah.
this, is it okay to touch it?
Will do.
Well, that's pretty wild. And there's Brent Spiner.
For proof that that really is it.
He actually sat here at this desk. Not here, but
here,
at this desk. Data's desk. Used in Next Generation and Voyager series, also in theater show with William Shatner, and donated by Ed and Rachel Harrigan, 2018. And there's everybody's favorite android. Is that the right word?
Yes, that is the correct word.
Okay. That is really cool. I didn't realize this was here.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the coolest things here. We have a couple of Women of Star Trek displays that we maintain and update periodically.
Nice. And that's the neat thing about Star Trek. I mean, fans, men and women alike, get into the show, and there's role models of characters in all of the different versions of Star Trek for men and women, and for Klingons and Romulans and
everyone else alike.
Everyone else, yes. What do we have, Phil? Look at this.
So this is our bridge display. I know the chair, at least, was built by the Highland High School shop.
Oh, okay.
And the whole set has various electronics, makes sounds, noises.
So
Mike adds his own touches.
Phil, what destination did you program in?
Third star.
Third star. Is that all right for you, Captain Bob?
It's fine with me.
That is cool. Let's see what you guys are looking at there on your window, your screen to the galaxy. That is awesome. All right, here in Riverside, Iowa. Well, you guys keep the ship running on a nice even keel for us, will you?
We'll do it.
All right. We'll be back.
We have some of the playset toys and ships from the 90s and early 2000s that have become very hard to find.
Oh,
and we maintain the packaging.
Yes.
We have a rotating figure collection from the Playmate stuff from the 90s.
Yeah, I remember. I actually bought, I think, Kirk and Spock, and I think Kirk had on the green shirt. I have got it in a box somewhere in the basement.
I have a lot of those figures, and there are a lot of them back home at my sister's house in Ohio.
Well, it's nice that she watches over them for you.
Yeah. This is one of our collections that I personally contribute heavily to. This is some of our comic book collection. We are currently working on an archive of every Star Trek comic ever, and I believe we have pretty much everything.
Now, Strange New Worlds, is that the episode or the series that was done a few years back?
So it's running now. They're working on. They are approved clear out to season 4 or 5, I think. Yeah, they're working on season 4 right now. Season 3 comes on soon. It is very, very good.
It's incredible how much. I mean, it looks like they're on the original sets.
It shows like the books. I grew up on the books so much, and it reads. Every single episode, it's like reading one of the novels when I was a kid, and it's just so well done.
That is cool.
Yeah. And we get all the expansion stories.
And I say, and the name of the actor and producer of that series that plays Captain Kirk.
Paul Wesley.
Is that his name? He does a great job.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he's the Kirk I know from the books. Like he splits off from the Shatner, and it's much more Trek storyline accurate. Shatner did an amazing job, but Wesley has that. He's Kirk. It's really good.
And there's some shots of him, profile shots, where you would swear it's William Shatner.
Yeah, and they were making connections to that clear back in 2003.
Yeah.
Before he did the Vampire Diaries or anything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. So, how long have you been a part of the museum?
May 2022.
May 2022. So you're coming up on your 3rd year.
Yeah.
What's your favorite part?
Probably not typing the minutes, but probably in all seriousness, it's whenever people come here on purpose. It's whenever you see a group. There was one that comes to mind is there's this Irish girl, and she flew here to come see Data's desk. Like
Wow.
she fell down on her knees and cried. She was so excited. And that is one of those moments I will just never forget.
That's incredible.
Yeah, and people come here all the time. Working here has changed my life. Like I am I'm a Scottish Rite Mason in the area now. I'm involved with an organization called Mindbridge. I have more friends than I ever had anywhere else. I would not be here if I were not here.
Right.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
So, I mean, and you can attribute some of that to Star Trek.
Oh, yeah. Very, very, very much.
Isn't it amazing how one person's idea is so transformative?
Oh, yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah. Little things spread.
Yeah. Well, show us around some more. This is just really neat.
We have some more of our autograph collection. We have a gentleman named Ron Warren who contributes heavily to our autograph collection, our photographs. He goes to all the cons and gets all the things.
Wow.
Yeah.
He stands in a lot of long lines.
I stand in a few. I have nothing on him. This is some of our Star Trek Starships collection that is mine personally.
Wow.
There are a little bit of Discovery, a little bit of Lower Decks. Don't think my Picard ships are here. And if you look right there at and this is the correct title, the nacelle suckers that are on the end of the Vancouver and the Cerritos right there, there's a gentleman named Russell Myers who has done some prop design. He has made a few items for Star Trek over the years, and he 3D printed those for me to put at the museum.
Very nice.
And they are 2 size for those.
Nice.
We have some of our vintage lunchboxes, puzzles.
Boy, what year is that lunchbox?
Oh, I would say that's probably 67, 69, 68.
Okay, so when the
that
series...
that is proper vintage.
Yeah, when the original series was on the air.
Mm-hmm.
There's Kirk and Spock in the transporter beam. I don't know if they're coming or going there.
That's always an important question. We also have some Mitch Lehman who builds items as close as he can, and he has done a very good job.
Communicator.
They are very well
awesome.
done. Mm-hmm.
Wow. It's amazing when you think in our modern world how many things were inspired to be built because of Star Trek.
Oh, yeah.
Or to be made.
Yeah. I mean, just various things I wear on a regular basis, various things you see, various wireless communications, hand terminals. So Bluetooth devices,
well, I mean,
everything.
With the apps that you can get, your smartphone becomes a tricorder.
Yeah.
It also becomes a medical. I mean, Dr. McCoy's was his called a tricorder as well?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I mean, you check your blood pressure and everything else.
Oh yeah. There's equipment that you can connect to an iPhone that'll allow you to connect to X-ray machines, ultrasounds, all kinds of things.
And I was born a month before the original Star Trek premiered. I was born in August of 1966, and it premiered in September of 66. And I'm guessing I had to wait till I was a few years older and could retain memories on this stuff, but I'm guessing that when I watched it as a child in reruns and all of the futuristic things that were on there at that time, and now when you watch the new episodes of Star Trek and you see all the futuristic things now, I mean, in the 1970s, you're thinking, oh, that's just so far out, that's not going to happen. So here we are in 2025 watching new Star Trek. Oh, that's so far out, that's not going to happen.
Or you directly recognize, that's that Samsung Galaxy Fold phone that was the tricorder in Picard.
Yes.
And they make a case and you can get it too.
Yes. It's just incredible.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, science fiction driving science fact.
Mm-hmm.
And then you put storylines, the character development and everything, and you have a product, a way of life that continues. And really, it's a way of life for a lot of people.
And it really does. It helps. There's so many things in Star Trek that have helped set the tone for even the way that various historical events have occurred. It had an impact on Gorbachev. Star Trek Six was made a lot of impact on how people viewed things post the fall of the Soviet Union.
Right.
Nicholas Meyer, if you ever get to meet him, I highly recommend showing up at one of Nicholas Meyer's events or one of his book signings at Prairie Lights. I see him every few months. He will talk and talk and talk about Star Trek 2, Star Trek 4, Star Trek 6, and all the things that he was trying to convey.
Well, tell us more about that event.
So he did a lot of the screenwriting. He did a lot of the directing. He is a Canon-approved Sherlock Holmes estate writer. So he writes additional Sherlock novels.
Wow.
And they're all good. But he goes into things like how the Klingons were meant to be the Russians at the time. Eventually, the Romulans replaced them as things changed. But it was the whole thing of just the name Gorkon, the way that there were all these things going on in the United States government that explained things that were happening, dissenters and traitors and whatnot,
Sure.
of all those things that were happening and how that whole conspiracy came together. And Star Trek 2 was a lot of things about human emotion and things that were going on at that time as well. And Star Trek 4 was very much about bringing things home. And that's one of the things about Star Trek, is that it's always very core to American society at large and a look at the world. Every episode of Star Trek is a parallel to something going on in the world at that time.
You said something that was the perfect wrap up for this segment, and that is bringing things home. This is the future birthplace of Captain Kirk. Let's wrap up this segment, and we'll start in a different section and talk about how in the world does Riverside, Iowa become the birthplace of Captain Kirk.
All right.
Bob, before you beam down with the away team, you need to tell our audience something.
Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe.
Because why?
So we can keep doing these.
And
podcasts.
it's free. And
it's free.
Gentlemen, how in the world does Riverside, Iowa become the future birthplace of Captain Kirk?
Steve Miller.
Steve Miller.
He was on city council here back in the 80s. The mayor of this town wanted city council to come up with ways to promote tourism. Back in the 60s, Roddenberry wrote a book called The Making of Star Trek. And the character, Captain Kirk, was to be born in a small town in the state of Iowa. That's all he said.
Huh.
So Steve's like, let's proclaim ourselves to be that town. So he actually got a hold of Gene Roddenberry, got his approval on it. The council made all their legal motions and that. And it passed. And once that happened, it became a story, and it went out across the news wires. And the mayor of the town, I guess, had to take a week's vacation to sit in City Hall and answer phone calls from the New York Times, the BBC, and you name it.
Sure.
And then Steve knew somebody that worked at the Cedar Rapids newspaper, and they got a story from him. He thought it'd be like back of the paper. Now they put it on front page. So
it's kind of a big deal.
It became a huge story.
It's a big deal, isn't it?
And he still comes here every year for the festival. He just kind of sits there and shakes his head about how big this has gotten.
Now, somebody's thinking Steve Miller, and they're thinking fly like an eagle.
Yeah.
Take the money and run. It's not the same Steve Miller.
Steve Miller.
Okay. Because when he said he comes back, that's really going to get people wondering. I had to clarify that.
There's lots of Steve Millers out there. That's a pretty common name.
Yes, there is. Well, so there's some neat things in the case here that relate to Captain Kirk and his future birthplace. Alex, you want to kind of point some of those out?
Sure. So there is the ever important Captain James T. Kirk, conceived at this point, that used to be in Murphy's Bar that was formerly open down the street. We have...
And at one point, it was underneath the pool table.
That's what I understand, yeah.
Captain Kirk's parents were kind of wild.
Do what you got to do. We have a few of the articles about how things happened. We have the particular line of he appears to be about 34 years old, and he was born in a small town in the state of Iowa.
There it is.
Yeah. So if you're ever looking for where you can find that, the book is called The Making of Star Trek. It is Pretty easy to find. I think it's still, you can buy some version of it on Amazon. Don't quote me on that.
Okay.
We have one of our only or our few Chris Pine autographed items.
Only.
Wow.
Still working on Paul Wesley.
We have our certificate that the United Spaceship Enterprise.
We'll just zoom in on that. Now, read that for us, will you?
Effective this stardate, 8505.20, every citizen of Riverside, Iowa is hereby commissioned a flight deck officer on the United Spaceship Enterprise. The above named officer, having given proof of superior judgment and abilities, and having indicated a willingness to engage in hazardous assignment, is ordered to report immediately for Star Trek duty. And it's signed by Gene Roddenberry and James Kirk.
It can't get any more official than
absolutely not.
that. Now, I wonder if Gene Roddenberry actually wrote James Kirk's name there.
It's in a different pen, so who knows?
We are not sure. I thought it'd actually be cool if he had his wife do it.
Yeah.
But
Majel
really
Barrett,
no
right?
idea.
Majel. Okay. And she
Yeah.
was Nurse Chapel
Yep.
in the original series, and Deanna Troy's mother in Next Gen.
And she was number
Computer-
one
yeah.
in The Cage,
Original pilot.
Oh, that's right.
who is now played by Rebecca Romijn.
And computer voice and everything.
Wow.
Until she passed.
Yep. Kept it in the family.
Oh,
yeah. What else we got to look at here?
Let's see.
More Star Trek. It says so on the sign.
We have more of our figure collection. We have one particularly interesting thing. Last year's Trek Fest, or year before last Trek Fest, sorry.
It's a Ferengi.
It's a Ferengi. So we
I
have.
wore this.
You look at
So you know the experience. You're kind of tall for a Ferengi.
a few inches.
I was the rare giant Ferengi. Because that's a picture of me right next to it there.
Okay, I'm going to zoom in and try not to get in the reflection here. But that's you in the yellow t-shirt.
Yep.
You've changed.
Yes, I did.
So every year for Trek Fest, the Westmore trained John Paladin, who does a lot of the convention makeup for the Trek guests, comes and sees us and does makeup usually in that corner right there, and set Phil up for the day.
Nice.
Yep. Only took hour and a half, something like that.
That's pretty quick, isn't it? Wow. You going to do it again, Phil?
Probably not. That's very warm and it's very hot during the festival.
Yeah.
It's part of the sacrifice, Phil.
Yes.
What number year will this year's festival be?
I believe this is 40.
40. So that's very special.
Oh, yeah.
What is the date for the festival this year?
June 26th through 28th. We actually have a few events on the Thursday night. Most of it's Friday and Saturday.
You have a very cool parade on this Saturday morning.
Yep, Saturday morning parade.
So is there anything that you can share with us ahead of time that's going to be happening?
The main two guests will be Dominic Keening and Connor Trenier from Star Trek Enterprise. Here at the museum, we got Bobby Clark, who played the Gorn in the original series. He'll be in here. And they also have Wyatt Weed, who played on episodes of The Next Generation. I think they got him doing a talk. They're still in the plan making stage.
Now, I've been called a nerd many times. So,
We take it with pride.
Yes, but there are more nerds, and maybe some that are watching this, that actually knew every one of those people that you mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
Hi, Bob. Do you know him?
I don't, but I probably will by tomorrow.
Turn around so they can see that you're a part of Starfleet security. Everybody's into Star Trek.
Oh, yeah.
What is your favorite part of the festival?
It's just a fun Friday, Saturdays, most of it. Those 2 days is so much fun. Me and another couple here, we try to get the celebrities we have here from point A to point B the whole weekend and make sure they get from the airport to here and back, and which can be fun.
I bet. Now, what have you found when dealing with celebrities over the years? They're obviously human beings.
Yeah.
no matter what they play on the show.
All the ones we have had have been just fantastic. They're really nice people, and they're friendly, and they love hanging out with the fans and visiting with them here.
That's so nice to hear, because sometimes celebrities maybe on because it's true, and sometimes maybe it's a bad rap, but sometimes they get a bad rap, but not the case with Star Trek celebrities.
And you always see, especially, and I noticed with J.J. Hertzler, Robert O'Reilly, Terry Farrell, and Bonnie Gordon, especially in the past few years, they love Star Trek. They love the whole concept of it. They love the fans.
Well, out of those names, I recognize Terry Farrell from Deep Space Nine.
Oh, from Marion.
She's from Cedar Rapids. She grew up in Cedar Rapids.
I did not know that.
So that's why our theme was Jadzia's homecoming.
Okay.
She more or less came home.
Yeah. Well, she's a good Iowa girl, so
Yep.
she's going to be nice.
Yep.
Is there anything else we should talk about in this area, or should we move on to a different section?
The last section. You got to do this.
We have our Galaxy Quest display, which is very, very, very new.
Oh,
Phil went to a convention recently and got all of those from the historical records.
that is very neat.
Mm-hmm.
Tell some folks that may not know what Galaxy Quest was about.
So it was a Star Trek spoof that really was good on its own. It was Tim Allen, Alan Rickman,
Was
Sigourney Weaver.
Yeah, Sigourney Weaver.
There were a lot of celebrities or a lot of actors from just various genres.
Right.
And the whole thing was, there was this television show called Galaxy Quest that was on for years and years and years, and it did very well. Maybe like another series we know.
Yeah.
And they had the NESA Protector, or the NSCA Protector, that was the hero ship of the show, and they were all at a convention. They were all going to events. They were all kind of getting sick of everything that was going on, and then something happened, and they appeared on the ship, except it wasn't the set, it was a ship. And these odd people who came along and were talking about the great historical records and all the things that happened, and it's a whole adventure, and I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it. It's pretty easy to find.
Well, that's a great recommendation, and I bet you there's going to be people watching and say, hey, we've got to stream Galaxy Quest tonight. Mm-hmm. Gentlemen, thank you so much. I want to wrap up this segment. You might think we're done, Phil, but there's one place I want you to take me to, and that's that really cool Enterprise model in the other room.
Okay.
Hey, before I boldly go, don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe. It's free.
Very good, Bob. And there's a light switch on the wall. Whoops. Oh, there it is. Wow.
Wow. I don't even need a newspaper to sit in here.
I say you better focus on the duty. The
Plenty
job
to
at
look
hand.
at. Plenty to look at.
Oh my goodness.
You aren't going to enjoy this one.
Phil, what do we have here? It's the USS Enterprise.
Yeah, this is totally built from scratch by a guy named Mike Alcott. And he built it. He actually's got the lights work on it. And it's just really amazing. He's got more talent than I do.
It's so cool. And you told me off camera that this is not a 3D printed thing.
Nope.
This is made out of balsa wood.
Yeah, it feels like it's balsa wood.
But all handmade.
Yep.
That's incredible. And what's the gentleman's name again?
Mike Alcott. He lives up in the Cedar Rapids area.
Mike, you are a craftsman and an artist, sir.
We are going to be right back.
Phil, thanks to you and Alex for the wonderful tour today of the Voyage Home Museum. And let's wrap it up here next to this special guy that I believe is known as Kirky.
That is correct. This is one of the original Herky on parades, which we ended up getting a hold of, and we got him painted in Star Trek colors. We have his hand, instead of a fist like the Herkies were, is doing the live long and prosper with his feathered fingers.
He sure is.
Most of the work on this was accomplished by a guy named Bruce Dooling, taking it around to several companies. Like the one you can tell, it's kind of the same people that paint like Harley gas tanks from the the quality of the paint job
Yeah.
on it.
Definitely got some neat airbrushing going on there. Wow. So I bet this gets a lot of people's attention.
Oh yeah, except for the Iowa State fans.
Yeah. Well, we're not far from Iowa City.
No.
They gotta let it slide.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Well, anything else I should know and the viewers of Southeast Iowa today should know about Kirky or the Voyage Home Museum that we haven't touched on?
Just if you're in the area and a Star Trek fan, come visit us. We're open 12 to 4 every day but Sunday and holidays.
All right. Well, we're going to put that information on the screen right next to you as you were talking, so they'll see it as well.
And live long and prosper.
Live long and prosper. Bob, that was a fun time.
I'm geeking out. I hate to admit it, but it was incredible.
I hope the folks that are watching are doing the same. And I'm holding the camera with my right hand, so I'm going to do the live long and prosper with my left hand. And also, while I'm doing that, I'm going to let Bob remind the folks what they should do.
You should like, subscribe, follow, and remember, it's free.
Thanks, Bob. And thank you for watching. Thanks to Alex and Phil for the wonderful tour of the Voyage Home Museum here in Riverside, Iowa, the future birthplace of Captain James D. Kirk. And thanks to the sponsors, Griner Auto Body, Car Doctor, McDonald Boneyard, Your Choice Family Restaurant, Girling Repair, B&B Propane and the family of Jet Stops, Dutch Market, and Coffee Talk. He's Bob DeWitt. I'm John Bain. Stay friendly, Southeast Iowa.